Hello, dear friends, how are you all doing? It's great to have you here with me today. I've prepared something special for you, a guide that's been around for millennia but is more relevant than ever for those seeking self-knowledge and a deeper connection with spirituality. We're going to dive headfirst into the tree of life in Kabbalah. Just imagine, what if there were a map of our soul and the universe itself? A blueprint showing us the paths to evolve, connect with the divine and understand the meaning of life. That's exactly what the tree of life offers. Many people ask me, but how does this tree work in practice? What are these spheres, these paths? Can we use this in our daily lives? Hold on. In today's video, we're going to get an overview, a complete panorama of this powerful structure. We'll unravel the mysteries of each Sefirot or sphere, which are like stations on this journey of spiritual ascension. Starting from the bottom of this diagram, at the root, we have Malkuth, which represents the physical and material world where we are now. It's the sphere right at the bottom of the tree of life. Then we'll climb step by step, exploring Yesod, the sphere of the foundations of our soul, Hessed, where reason comes into play, Netzach, the dwelling of strength and victory, and Sefirot, the sphere of beauty and harmony. But the journey doesn't stop there. We'll also uncover the mysteries of Gabi, the sphere of justice and discipline, Hessed, where unconditional love and kindness reign, Binar, the sphere of deep understanding and wisdom, and Kochma, the abode of intuition and divine wisdom. And to top it all off, we'll reach the top of the tree at Kether, the sphere of the crown, the union with the divine light. Are you curious? Do you want to know how to use this ancient wisdom to boost your self-knowledge, manifest your dreams, and live with more purpose? Then get your notebook ready because the journey is going to be amazing. Oh, and don't forget to comment if you'd like me to create a complete course on the tree of life, to understand the universe, the macrocosm, and also life itself, the microcosm. But today we'll have an overview of the tree of life and its foundations. Let's begin our ascent up the tree of life. And as every good adventurer knows, the journey starts at the bottom, at the densest and most material level, Malkuth, the 10th Sefirot. Notice that the count starts from the bottom up on the tree of life. Malkuth is our little home, the physical world we know with its charms and challenges. It is the earth with its oceans, mountains and forests, but it is also the entire universe with its infinite galaxies, planets and stars. It is matter in its most tangible form, the multiplicity of shapes, colors, smells and tastes that we experience every moment. Imagine the diversity of plant and animal species, the variety of human cultures and customs, the endless objects we create. All of this is Malkuth. And it is precisely this vastness that can raise the first question: how do we find God amidst so much? It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, isn't it? But the Kabbalists teach us that the first step to climbing the tree of life is precisely this: seeing the unity behind the multiplicity. It is recognizing the divine presence in every falling leaf, every raindrop, every smile we share. It is understanding that despite all differences, everything is interconnected, everything is part of a greater plan. But let's be honest, it's not always easy to maintain this vision, is it? Especially when we face difficulties, fears and insecurities. It's natural to feel small and powerless in the face of the universe's vastness, and that's where the danger lies. We might end up trapped by fear, guilt, and the feeling of separation. Often we learn to relate to God through fear. It's the fear of punishment, hell, divine retribution, and this view can end up blocking us, preventing us from experiencing the true freedom and fullness that spirituality offers. It's like being stuck in a maze, unable to find the way out. But hold on, don't despair. Recognizing these patterns, this tendency toward fear and guilt, is already an important step toward freeing ourselves from them. It's like lighting a candle in the darkness. And with the help of the tree of life, we can find the path to overcome these obstacles and reach higher levels of consciousness. So, take a deep breath, observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment, and get ready for the next stage of our journey. Well, now that we've set foot on the solid ground of Malkuth, let's take a step further toward a deeper level of our tree of life. Yesod, the 9th Sefirot, which we can translate as foundation. If Malkuth is the sphere of multiplicity, Yesod is where we begin to seek the unity behind it all. It's like looking at the vastness of the universe and suddenly feeling a hint of connection to something much greater than ourselves. It's the search for the truth that pulses within us. Remember that feeling of there must be something more we have in Malkuth? In Yesod, we start pursuing that intuition. It's like waking up from a deep sleep and finally beginning to question things, seeking answers to life's big questions. Who are we? Where do we come from? Where are we going? And this search, my friends, isn't just mental. It's visceral. It's the soul asking to connect with its essence, with its inner truth. And this is where one of the most important aspects of Yesod comes in. We begin to open ourselves to pleasure, to experiencing life in its fullness. You might be wondering, but wasn't pleasure a thing of Malkuth? Yes, but there we're still very much tied to fear, guilt, and restrictions. In Yesod, we start freeing ourselves from these chains and experience pleasure more consciously, more deeply. It's like we can finally take a deep breath and enjoy the journey. And this freedom, this quest for truth and pleasure, propels us forward, upward on the tree of life. We begin to realize that there's a much broader and more fascinating world than we imagined, and the desire to explore this world only grows. Of course, this journey isn't always easy. There will be obstacles, challenges, moments of doubt. But it's precisely in these moments that we need to hold on to the energy of Yesod, the quest for truth, and the desire to live with more intensity, with more meaning. It's like we've found a map that guides us back home to our divine essence. And believe me, this journey is worth every step. Climbing another branch on this tree of life, let's examine the Sefirot, or sphere of Hod. After feeling the quest for truth in Yesod, we arrive at Hod, the 8th Sefirot, which we can understand as the sphere of reason, of intellect. It's here that we start using our heads to organize things, you know. If in Yesod we were diving into experience, in Hod we want to understand the why of everything. It's like taking a giant puzzle and starting to find the pieces that fit, seeking a logic behind it all. We move from intuition to analysis, to study, to understanding the world around us. And this desire to understand, my friends, isn't limited to spirituality. It's the mind-seeking knowledge in all areas: science, art, philosophy, history. It's us wanting to decipher the codes of life, to understand how things work, both in the material and spiritual planes. Remember how in Yesod we opened ourselves to pleasure. In Hod, we start organizing this quest, directing our energy toward what truly benefits us. It's like cleaning up a bookshelf, separating the books that truly matter from those that just take up space. And it's in this process of analysis and organization that we can begin to have powerful insights about life, about ourselves, about our relationship with the divine. It's like connecting the dots and suddenly everything starts to make more sense. But it's important to remember, Hod is still an initial level of understanding. It's like learning to read, you know? We decipher the letters, form the words, but still can't grasp the depth of a complex text. Often we get frustrated because we want quick answers, magical solutions. But wisdom takes time, my friends. It requires patience to study, to reflect, to connect the dots. And even when we think we know everything, life always surprises us with new challenges, new lessons. So keep an open mind, stay curious, and always have your notebook handy. The journey continues and we still have much to discover together. We're gaining momentum in this climb up the tree of life. Get ready, because now we're going to talk about grit, overcoming challenges, and pure energy. It's time for Netzach, the 7th Sefirot, which means victory. Remember, we count the Sefirot from bottom to top on the tree, starting from the 10th Sefirot, Malkuth, up to the 1st Sefirot, Kether, at the top. But let's continue with the analysis of the 7th Sefirot, Netzach, which means victory. You know those obstacles we encounter along the way, the hurdles life throws at us? In Netzach, we learn to overcome them. It's like we've trained hard and are finally ready to fight for the champion's belt. But don't think this victory is just about the external world. about acquiring material goods or defeating others. No, Netzach speaks of a much deeper conquest, victory over ourselves, over our fears, insecurities, and flaws. It's us looking in the mirror and saying, I can do it. I am capable of overcoming any challenge. And this strength, my friends, comes from a very special place within us. It's the energy of persistence, determination, the will to win that beats in our chest. It's us refusing to give up on our dreams, even when everything seems difficult. Remember, in Hod, we were still trying to understand the logic of the world, the structure of things. In Netzach, we've already internalized this logic and start using it to our advantage. It's like we've learned to use the tools life has given us to fight for the things we believe in. And this struggle, my friends, is constant. We will never be completely free of challenges, of obstacles. But the difference is that in Netzach, we don't get discouraged so easily. We know we have the inner strength to overcome any obstacle, to get up after a fall and move forward with even more determination. And this grit, this determination, is what will propel us to the next levels of the tree of life. It's like we've passed a test of endurance and emerged stronger, more confident, more prepared to face any obstacle. So take a deep breath, hold your head high, and let's pursue this victory together. And after the vibrant energy of Netzach, we arrive at a special place on the tree of life, a place of balance and beauty, Tiferet, the sixth Sefirot, which means beauty. But hold on, we're not just talking about external beauty. It's something much deeper, something that moves us from within. Tiferet is like the heart of the tree of life, the point of balance between all the other spheres. Remember how we talked about ascending through the right column with the strength of Netzach, or through the left column with the wisdom of Hod. In Tiferet, we find the harmony between these two sides, between action and reason, between strength and compassion. And how do we know we're connected with this energy of Tiferet? One way is through beauty, yes, but the beauty that comes from within. It's the beauty of compassion, generosity, kindness. It's the beauty of those who seek goodness, who make a difference in the world with their actions and attitudes. But there's another key word in Tiferet that's very important: harmony. It's like we've finally found our place in the world, you know? We feel at peace with ourselves, with others, and with the divine. It's as if everything is in its rightful place, as if we've finally found our center. And this harmony, my friends, is reflected in everything we do, in our relationships, in our work, in our spiritual life. We start to act with more ease, more fluidity, more love. Of course, life doesn't become a bed of roses just because we've reached Tiferet. Challenges continue, difficulties arise, but we face them differently. Tiferet is known as the Sefirot of the higher self. In it, we reach a greater level of serenity, with more wisdom, with the certainty that we are not alone on this journey. So, my friends, open your hearts to this beautiful energy of Tiferet. Allow yourselves to feel the beauty of life, the harmony of the universe, and the constant presence of the divine in every detail. Now brace yourselves, because we're going to talk about a powerful force, one that gives you chills. It's time for Gabi, the fifth Sefirot, which means severity or rigor. Get ready to face the justice side of the tree of life. After the harmony and beauty of Tiferet, it might seem strange to talk about severity. But hold on, it's not quite like that. Life isn't just made of flowers and rainbows, right? There's a challenging side with conflicts, injustices, and yes, even evil, and that's where Gabi comes into play, showing us that we can't just close our eyes to these things. If in Hessed, which is the next Sefirot we'll see, we welcome everyone with open arms, in Gabi we learn to set boundaries, to say no when necessary. It's about understanding that true love also needs firmness, discernment, to avoid being permissive with what isn't good. Imagine we're in a garden taking care of the flowers, but suddenly a pest appears, threatening to destroy everything. What do? Stand still, just admiring the beauty while everything is lost? Of course not. We need to act firmly, eliminate the pest to protect the garden. This is what Gabi teaches us: to fight what needs to be fought, to have the courage to face what isn't right. And this struggle, my friends, can manifest in various ways. It can be us standing up against injustice, defending those who are oppressed, denouncing abuse. It can be us saying no to an addiction, to self-destructive behavior, to everything that distances us from our divine essence. But be careful. It's important not to confuse Geburah with aggression or revenge. The severity here is always just, balanced, guided by love and wisdom. It's like a surgeon who needs to make a precise cut to heal a patient. It hurts, but it's for the good. So don't be afraid to use the strength of Geburah when necessary. Be warriors of light, fighting darkness with courage and determination, always guided by justice and love. And now, after the strength and justice of Geburah, we arrive at Hessed, the fourth Sefirot, a place of pure kindness and unconditional love on our tree of life. Get ready to open your heart. While Geburah put us in a position of combat, Hessed invites us to embrace. It's like after the storm, we finally find a safe place full of compassion and generosity. It's the energy of forgiveness, understanding, and infinite kindness. And this energy, my friends, is powerful. It's like looking at the world through the eyes of the soul, seeing the divine spark that exists in every human being, even in those who err, who lose their way. Often we confuse Hessed with passivity, with letting people take advantage of our goodwill. But that's not it at all. Hessed is active, proactive. It's us putting ourselves in the other's shoes, offering help without expecting anything in return. It's us emanating love and compassion to the world, without judgment, without restrictions. Remember how in Geburah we learn to say no? In Hessed, we learn to say yes to goodness, to love, to the possibility of transformation. It's us believing that everyone deserves a second chance, that everyone has within them the capacity to change, to evolve. And this belief, my friends, is transformative. When we emanate Hessed to the world, we're not just helping others, we're healing ourselves too. It's like opening a portal of light within us, allowing divine energy to flow freely. Of course, it's not always easy to maintain this elevated vibration of Hessed all the time. We live in a world full of challenges, conflicts, situations that throw us off balance. But it's precisely in these moments that we need to connect with the energy of Hessed, seeking within us the strength of forgiveness, compassion, and unconditional love. And folks, get ready for a deep mental and spiritual journey, because now we're going to dive into Binar, the third Sefirot, which means understanding. If until now we were exploring reality with a more rational mind, in Binar we take a quantum leap in our way of perceiving the world. Remember how in Hod we used reason to organize ideas, seeking to understand the logic of the physical world. In Binar we transcend this level of understanding, accessing a higher intellect, a wisdom that goes far beyond linear logic. It's like we finally managed to see the matrix, the structure behind reality. If in Hod we were still crawling in knowledge, in Binar we become a master, a sage. It's like we've spent years studying a musical instrument, and suddenly the music starts to flow naturally, effortlessly, with mastery. And this mastery, my friends, isn't limited to a specific field of knowledge. In Binar, we develop a deep understanding of the universe as a whole, of the laws of nature, the cycles of life, the interconnectedness of all things. It's as if we finally understand the source code of creation. And with this understanding, many mysteries that once seemed indecipherable begin to reveal themselves. We start to understand complex themes like reincarnation, the multidimensional nature of the soul, the action of karma, the synchronicity of events. It's like we finally managed to put all the pieces of the puzzle together and have a panoramic view of existence. But attention, the wisdom that Binar provides us isn't cold and impersonal. On the contrary, it's a wisdom that springs from the heart, from the deep connection with the creative source. It's a wisdom that drives us to act with more love, compassion, and wisdom in the world. And after the structured and logical mind of Binar, we take a quantum leap to Kochma, the second Sefirot, which means wisdom. But pay attention. This isn't the wisdom we find in books, born from study and analysis. Kochma is intuitive wisdom, the wisdom that springs from the heart, the wisdom of the soul. If in Binar we understood how the universe works, in Kochma we feel the why. It's like we finally access the source of all creation, the primordial energy that gives rise to everything that exists. It's the mind connecting with the divine, drinking directly from the source of universal wisdom. Remember how in Binar we spoke of higher intellect, of geniuses who unravel the mysteries of the universe. In Kochma, we go beyond genius. We touch the sphere of prophecy, divine inspiration, revelation. It's like we become a channel for divine wisdom to manifest in the world. And this wisdom, my friends, doesn't come through words or rational thoughts. It arrives like lightning, like a sudden insight, like an unshakable certainty that takes over our being. It's intuition speaking louder, guiding our steps, showing the way forward. Many artists, inventors, and spiritual leaders access the energy of Kochma to create their works, find innovative solutions, and inspire crowds. It's as if they have a direct channel to the source of creativity, receiving insights and ideas that transcend the capacity of the rational mind. But don't think Kochma is a passive state, waiting for divine illumination. It's necessary to be receptive, yes, but it's also necessary to have the courage to follow intuition, to trust the wisdom of the soul, even when it leads us down unknown paths. So, my dear ones, open your hearts to the inspiring energy of Kochma. Allow intuition to be your compass, guiding you toward wisdom, creativity, and deep connection with the divine. And finally, we've reached the top of our journey through the Tree of Life. Prepare for a transcendental experience, because now we're going to talk about Kether, the first Sefirot, the crown, the dwelling place of the divine itself. If in Kochma we experienced intuitive wisdom, a direct connection with the divine mind, in Kether we dissolve into this connection. It's as if we've finally reached the mountain's peak, looked at the vastness of the universe, and realized that we've always been part of it all. Kether is absolute unity, the source of all creation, the place where there is no separation between creator and creature. It's the mystical experience of union with the all, the dissolution of the ego into the vastness of being. It's like the drop finally returning to the ocean, ceasing to exist as individuality to become part of something much greater. It's difficult to describe Kether in words, because human language is limited in expressing this experience that transcends duality, logic, and understanding itself. It's like trying to explain color to someone born blind, or sound to someone who has never heard. But even if we can't comprehend Kether with the rational mind, we can feel its energy, its subtle presence in our lives. It's that feeling of deep peace, of connection with something much greater than ourselves, of completeness and fullness that transcends any earthly experience. Some mystics and Kabbalists describe Kether as a state of nothingness or void, but not in the sense of absence. It's a void that contains everything, a nothingness that is the source of all existence. It's the experience of the pure I am, without adjectives, without limits, without separation. Reaching Kether is the ultimate goal of our spiritual journey, but it's not a destination we reach overnight. It's a gradual process of refining the soul, dissolving the veils of illusion, returning to our true divine nature. So, my friends, even if we can't fully comprehend Kether yet, may its energy inspire us to seek union, transcendence, and deep connection with the divine. May we each day draw a little closer to this inexhaustible source of love, wisdom, and light. So we've explored each Sefirot individually, albeit a bit superficially, because as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we need a full course to study and understand the intricacies of each Sefirot and learn how to apply this knowledge in our lives. But now I want you to open your minds to an even broader view of the Tree of Life. Imagine that each of these spheres, besides representing a stage of our spiritual evolution, is also like an energy portal, a specific frequency that we can access. These energies are real, and we can use them to attract good things into our lives. It doesn't matter if you're seeking professional growth, more harmonious relationships, prosperity, or even deepening your spirituality. The Tree of Life is like a map that guides us to achieve our goals in all areas of life. And how do we do that? By connecting with the energies of each of the 10 Sefirot, and also the 22 paths that connect these Sefirot. It's as if we can chart a personalized route using the energy of each sphere to manifest our desires in the material world. This is where practical Kabbalah comes into play, with its rituals and meditations that connect us with these powerful frequencies. To give you an idea, each path is also associated with a letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which vibrates at a specific frequency, and a divine name revealing the multifaceted nature of the Creator. It's as if we can tune into the exact energy we need for each situation. For example, if you're seeking more courage and determination to overcome a challenge, you can connect with the energy of Netzach, the sphere of victory. If you want to attract more love and compassion into your life, you can work with the energy of Hessed, the sphere of kindness. And if you need mental clarity and wisdom to make an important decision, you can turn to the energy of Kochma, the sphere of intuitive wisdom. Remember how I mentioned in this and previous videos on the channel that the universe is all energy? This is what quantum mechanics is now revealing to all humanity, but certain secret initiatic groups have had this knowledge for millennia and used it to achieve a prosperous and abundant life. The possibilities are endless, my friends. These are valuable insights for us to study and understand the power and how to access the energy of each of the Sefirot or spheres of the tree of life. Learning in detail about each Sephirah, each path, and how to understand the universe and our own lives to manifest our dreams and live a fuller and more meaningful life. But for now, keep this key I'm sharing with you. The tree of life is not just an abstract concept, a beautiful diagram to look at. It's a living, pulsating tool that we can use to transform our reality. And whether you realize it or not, it's always active in our lives, whether you understand its workings or not. I hope you now have a better understanding of what the tree of life is and the possibilities it can offer us. It was a pleasure to share with you this ancient knowledge, which not only helps us understand the universe and ourselves better, but also provides us with tools to transform our lives in all aspects. At the beginning of the video, I posed some questions. How do we find God amidst the multiplicity of the material world? How do we overcome our fears and insecurities? How do we use the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah to manifest our dreams? I hope that throughout this journey, you've found some answers and, more importantly, new questions that will drive you to continue exploring and growing. The Tree of Life is a powerful guide for self-knowledge and spirituality, but it's also a practical tool that can be applied in all areas of our lives. Whether in your profession, relationships, pursuit of prosperity, or spiritual development, each Sephirah offers an energy frequency that we can access and use. If you want to dive even deeper into this universe, learn in detail about each Sephirah, the 22 paths that connect them, and how to use these energies. Please leave a comment on this video so I can gauge everyone's real interest. Also, don't forget to follow the Instagram profile, where I post motivational messages and content that help expand consciousness. The link is also in the description. If you liked this video and want to support the production of more content like this, consider making a donation through the Ko-fi platform link. Any amount is welcome and helps a lot. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Rich Mind channel to receive notifications of upcoming videos. Share this video with friends and family who might benefit from these teachings. Comment below what you thought of this video and suggest topics you'd like to see in the future. I love reading your comments and knowing what you think of the content. Finally, don't miss out on watching the other videos on the channel. There's a lot of great content waiting for you, with knowledge that can make a difference in your journey of self-discovery and spirituality. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Let's walk this path together, always striving to grow, learn, and connect more deeply with our divine essence. See you in the next video.